Hello, everyone. Welcome to Madam Mayor's Adventures Live.
Hello.
How are you doing, Miss
Trying to
Madam
clean
Mayor?
my glasses. I was doing some yard work, so I've been pulling sticks and leaves out of my hair.
Yeah, she's been working on the azalea bushes, and I've been working on the back porch screen. It's got some tears and rips in them. Really, screen's just like pulled out of the framing. And so it's just a matter of undoing the framing and stretching it back out, stapling it and putting the wood back up. So that's what we've been working on today.
Oh, goodness. I even have twig stuff in my eyeballs.
Yeah, we've been in the trees today, playing in the bushes.
I'm making a big mess of that bush.
Yeah.
But I had to stop because I found a little birdie nest with eggs. So I don't want to disturb that. So it's going to be...
Surprised Mama didn't take you out.
I know. When I used to do landscaping and I'd be weed eating under trees where there was birds, I've had birds swooping at me, and they don't want you messing with them babies.
That's right.
So luckily they didn't take my head off. They could have cut my hair a little bit. I wouldn't have minded that. Because sometimes it just feels a little too long. Maybe for my birthday this year, I'll get a professional haircut. It's been about 5 years.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah, I may have to treat you to a haircut.
Because it's looking a little shabby.
You don't like the Granger barber?
No, well, it's good for the trim job, but I'd like to have some style.
That's all I can do. I'm not into style.
I'm not really sure if I've got the patience to continue growing out my bangs because they're growing a lot slower with age.
Yep.
And I'm growing impatient with it.
So what a week to not be in Otter Creek. There is a lot going on, isn't there? So
usually.
Yeah, usually. So as many of you guys already probably know, the lawsuit has been dropped against us. And then there's a new one ongoing. And I want to reach out and thank Veteran Nation for what they're doing to help promote the channel and putting some links out there to help us out. We appreciate that. We also want to thank the work that Tug and Megan are doing. I think Megan, I think it was 2 days ago, she did a video release by herself. I think that's when she's at her best, actually, when she's actually commentating and giving meat and purposeful insight and conversation to the subject. And I thought she did a really good job when she covered the Trespass 5. So if you're trying to catch up, and I think she could explain it even better than I could. She kind of took it from the top and she explained everything that kind of went on and where we're at today. And
hi, Babs.
I just want to say,
hi, Jessica.
I want to let Megan know and Tug know that we appreciate all that they do in helping the good people, shedding light on the facts. So we appreciate that.
I appreciate everybody and all the love and support you continuously give us. Yes. I always say I love being part of this loving community, doing the right things, supporting each other, helping each other thrive. That's what we're here for, to love on each other. And it's good to be part of something positive and be part of this loving family. I feel very blessed. I constantly, we were watching Deanna's latest video with her Trespass 5 song, and it's a catchy jingle.
I know. I was sitting there like...
Deanna is very talented. She does some wonderful editing, and I feel blessed to be part of God's army. And
the words in the song were very accurate. They almost told a story without having to tell the story.
Right.
So I like the song.
So, I love, just the other night I was thinking of everybody and the good times we've had and will continue to have with everybody. It's easier when you're surrounded by each other to constantly lift each other up, because it's hard. There's so much trying stuff going on in the world, and especially right around us. So it's good to have all you guys lifting us up. It helps a lot. tremendously. So thank you.
Mhm.
Long story or short story long.
It's
Thank you
okay.
so much. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and you guys make a difference. And you make a difference in this world, because I'm sure your love here also spreads out all around you. And that is a blessing for everybody around you. So keep doing that. The good people outshine the bad people. So, all right, I'll let you talk now.
No, you're good. So as you've noticed, we're not in Texas anymore. Or is it Kansas? No, it was Texas, right?
It was Texas.
What did you think of Texas?
Well, let me see. I made a few notes in my phone in case I forgot, because I knew you were going to ask me this question.
So while she's pulling that up real quick, I had been in Texas. It had been a while. I was stationed there at Fort Cavazos, formerly Fort Hood. And I spent 8 years there. Not all at once. I did 4 and then left on another assignment and returned and did 2 more and left and then came back and did 2 more. I kind of did the Korea boomerang thing. And it's changed a lot. Fort Hood has really grown.
Everything has changed. Yeah. Nothing stays the same.
I don't remember any of those gates, and now they got lots of gates. There's something noticeable that has changed about Texas in general, usually on the secondary roads. And some of the old timers and Texans, long-term Texans, can speak to this. But if you are slower, like if you're in an RV or on a tractor, you're slower than most traffic. And on secondary roads, not on the interstate, but that road that runs down to Austin from Fort Hood, 195, I think it is. That used to be the road to get to Austin. Well, it still is, but it's bigger. But it was tradition that if you were slower than the traffic behind you, or if 5 cars or more stacked up behind you, you would ride on the shoulder and let those cars go by. Apparently, they don't do that anymore, and I think you looked it up saying it was illegal.
Well, I believe one of the viewers put it in the comments that it was now illegal. But I do love how they have nice big shoulders on the roads there. Yeah. I commented, of course, from the mailman's perspective, that luckily the mailman gets to ride that lane and deliver the mail and not have to pull back in and out of traffic. And having delivered mail for so many years, you know, you can't get those thoughts out of your head when you travel to different places about what struggles the mailman has to go through. So I did like that. I thought that was great for them.
You know, a couple times before I had heard that, I think you had told me that, and I'm like, what? I had pulled over on the shoulder and was riding on the shoulder in the RV because traffic was stacked up behind me, and they were hesitant to pass me. I'm like, go. But they did all pass me, and then you get back in your lane. I thought that uniqueness about Texas is what made Texas, Texas. It's called friendly.
Oh, wow. Terry Smith lives in Killeen.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we drove all around Killeen, didn't we? And I'll tell you another thing that's changed down there is Business 190 used to be all the clubs. Like Killeen was a dry town. I don't know if it still is. But there were no clubs in Killeen. You had to go over to Harker Heights, the next town over. And so we drove down through there just because I wanted to see if all the clubs were still there. Because you know how clubs, they change out quite often. None of them were there. They were all either abandoned. You live in Killeen. Have you been there for a while? Remember the big country dance hall, Western club called Cody's out in Harker Heights? We drove through there. It was a ghost town. The building is still there. You can still kind of tell it was a bar. But that's kind of where I hung my hat in my younger days, is I like to go to the country club there, and I did a lot of country dancing. I even competed in couples dancing and line dancing. I used to do that when I was younger. But yeah, all them days are behind me, I guess. So I was a little disappointed to see.
Well, you could get a pair of boots and go do some boot scoot boogie.
It's not. That's too long ago. But I was a little disappointed to see some of that change. Like I've never seen where you drive on the shoulder and let people pass. That's called Texas friendly. Texas had always had a lot of pride about their state. There were some bulletins on the interstate that we liked. It said, you know, the little signs that they change, like if there's an accident ahead or whatever. There was one that said, slow down, you're already in Texas. Like everybody's beating feet to get to Texas. Now you can slow down.
Terry's been there since 1977.
So Texas was one of my favorite states, and it was still considered when I left Alaska whether to go back to Texas, Tennessee, or Florida. And I ended up picking Florida because I'd been to Texas. I hadn't spent any time in Florida, and my parents had moved to Florida from Virginia. And then I had done a 3-year tour at Fort Campbell, which is on the border between Kentucky and Tennessee, just north of Nashville. So I have some Tennessee knowledge, and I liked it. I have favorable memories of going out to Land Between the Lakes, Lake Parkley, and all. But being at Fort Campbell, you're not really there very much. I deployed with them 3 years. I was deployed a year, so you didn't spend a whole lot of time there. But I did have, 4 seasons. I remembered that. And, back then getting to Nashville wasn't so hard and Nashville wasn't so big. Now Nashville's like a metropolis. Like you just kind of, it's like, oh, we got to go to Nashville. And you're like, why? Because you're going to be drudging through traffic.
I'd like to go hang out down there one day to check the town out. We haven't done that. We've only driven through it.
It's more than a town, dear.
Well, whatever the case may be.
It's like Houston. It's huge. It's New York. It's LA.
Okay, then 2 days, 3 days, whatever it takes, my friend.
Okay. I'll show you Nashville. I don't think you're going to much care for it. There'll be some things about it you'll like. But anyway, I was surprised. I guess long story short was I was surprised to see that they had stopped doing
That's called short story long.
Okay. Well, I was surprised and kind of unpleasantly surprised that they had stopped doing the move over and let cars pass. I thought that made Texas unique. I had not ever seen that before, and I liked it. Sometimes I'm the person sliding over, and sometimes I'm the one that's like, I want to get on past these people. But, times change, I guess, and I don't know what happened that they made that a rule that you can't do that anymore.
Somebody must have messed up.
But Fort Hood has really changed. I think they've actually gotten bigger. They've expanded their property north, more toward Waco.
Thank you, Nancy.
It's like the largest training base in the free world, and it's still
that place is humongous.
It is huge.
Like crazy huge. It's the biggest base I've been on.
You can drive.
It is the biggest base. So.
Yeah, you can drive an hour and a half and still be on the base. It's insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But it was fun. For sure. And there's a lot left on the list to do for another visit.
Yep.
We always leave stuff on the list, just like we still have to go back to Key West sometime and Alaska sometime because there's always more left on the list.
Yeah.
But I had fun. Again, I wouldn't want to be there during summertime.
It was just starting to get a little toasty down there.
So, yeah, the weather was still good, but no summer for me. I had enough summers in Florida. I don't want to be in any hot places during the summer. But I did notice that the Texas landscape is very unique, and it's also very unique depending on the region of Texas you're in. Same as Florida. I know a lot of people hear Florida and they think beach, but you have the beaches, you have the Everglades, you have the woods. So Texas has a bunch of different regions
as well. In San Antonio, we were watching some of the local news, and they actually have 2 separate weather forecasts. He'll do the hill country, is the northern and west side of the state, and then they'll also do East Texas. And they have different temperatures. Like they can be 10 to 15 degrees difference.
Star Chasers here wants to know how many miles are on the RV so far. Do you know?
I haven't looked. I think it's almost 20,000 or right around 20,000.
We did put a lot on them running from Key West to Alaska.
Yeah, that was quite a few, but that's a once in a lifetime trip. So
I hope it's more, but who knows?
Yes.
It is quite pricey to do that. It does take a lot of gas and whatnot. So, but I still want to go back. Of course, it's too beautiful not to. There's
a lot of it we didn't get to see, like the coastal towns of. We'd like to go to Kodiak Island. I think that would be neat to see, and I'd like to see Ketchikan. So maybe
we had to cut it short just to get back here to close on this house Brett found. So yeah, he still owes me.
Couldn't get it off the list.
Nope. Sorry, bud. You messed that one up.
Oh well.
So So yeah, the Texas landscape, I know. So it's a lot of rocky, dry. The trees are shorter, and which was very pretty because they actually have a nice shape. Like They're short and spread out, which looked very nice.
They're kind of stunted.
There was a lot of cool looking cedar trees. Jason, thank you so much. Gas fund for the trip to Alaska. Ooh, baby.
Appreciate that, Jason.
And some sourdough pancakes too. I got to try those. I didn't get to try those when we were there either. So,
oh yeah,
I need some sourdough pancake money.
The restaurant I wanted to take you to, in fact, there were two and they were both closed. So,
but yeah, there's a lot of cactus.
Yep.
And I noticed a lot of people have pretty like big grand yards and just like a grand look and a really fancy gate to their house. So Brett even joked that their fancy gates was like a belt buckle
to the property. It's their belt buckle.
It's their belt buckle to the property because everybody's got this nice grand fancy gate.
If you're not a cowboy, you wouldn't understand the belt buckle thing.
I used to have a nice belt buckle. It was a heart shaped. It was sterling silver, and it had a horse head with turquoise and some red in it. I forget what the red stone is right now, but it was beautiful. I had that when I was a teenager because we had horses and loved to ride horses.
It was sterling silver and had a golden rope around it, and then in the middle was the state of Texas.
Oh, yeah, the salmon in Alaska. Spoiled. That is so delicious. Thank you, Hippie Witch. You should see Nova Scotia. You'd love it. We actually want to go there.
That is on our list.
And we actually wanted to go there this summer.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if we're going to or not. We're still discussing our plans for where we're headed next.
Yeah.
Outside of Ohio.
We're hoping that this lawsuit doesn't bring us back to Florida to have to be there in person. But if it does, a few days notice and we can get down there.
Yep. There's trains, planes, and automobiles, so you can get wherever you need to go in a hurry these days. Yeah. So it's all good.
We never asked for these lawsuits, and just saying that we always helped Lynette and John. She picked him up off the ground when he was urinating all over himself and had to be evacuated. She didn't call 911 until after we got there, and we told her to call 911. We left a Bible study group in the golf cart to race over there to see what was going on and help him. We've been over there with the tractor. We've been over there with the truck and Zim's trailer.
Numerous things we did.
Of course,
all
that
the
didn't
time.
Work out. Yeah.
Just trying to be a good neighbor. Trying to be a good person and do the right thing.
I had an extra electric panel box those things are like $200 and $300 now. And I sold it to him for my cost because I had an extra one I had bought and I wasn't going to use it. I think I charged him like $180, and that was my cost of that box. And he used it. So we've done things for them to help them.
Many things. I wouldn't want to sit here and list them. There's quite a few things.
I've helped them with some wiring, with some plumbing.
All this was just a fine thank you for all those things. And we didn't ask for any of that.
Yeah, so
I always try to do the right thing and help those in need as much as I can.
We didn't ask for the slander.
So there was a lot of things that went on for a long time for us as well as Jeremy and George, where nobody did anything back. We just figured after a time period, maybe it would just stop, but not even a cease and desist could stop that.
Yeah. So we didn't even bother
unfortunately,
with that.
It has ended up where it is.
Yeah.
And again, we didn't ask for it.
Welcome to Snowbird, Dwayne.
For far too long and is still going on. So I just continue to ask for everybody's prayers for everybody involved in this because it's not easy. None of it's easy. It has a lot of stress.
It weighs on
the
you.
relationships.
It weighs on you. Yep.
On our relationship, on Jeremy and George's relationship, on our friends, the circle. We're all human beings, and everything causes stress. Like they always say, the biggest stressor in a marriage is usually financial issues. So whatever's going around you will have stress within your relationship. So it's very hard, and put yourself in our shoes and their shoes and have some grace and mercy when you're judging people for different things. So just kind of remember that it's easy to sit around and judge people, but it's a hard situation to be in. And I just continue to pray and ask you to pray that this will all be over soon and everybody can get on with some kind of normal lives. Of course, you never leave any situation without bearing scars. And hopefully the scars are lessons learned, but you do think differently and act differently, put up walls and barriers for people. So it's hard. You got to pray for a soft heart coming out of the battle. Yeah. We'll just say that because it is a battle.
Have you guys been watching Travis's videos of his body cam? He's been putting them out piecemeal over the
Hi, Mayor Dan.
Last couple days.
Hope
hey, Mayor
you're loving
Dan.
The weather.
Yeah, heading your way soon.
Yep, Ohio. I love when I get to visit my peeps in Ohio. Love, 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 love it. That's all I got to say about that.
All right. So you made me lose track. Oh, yeah.
Well, I never even finished talking about Texas because we went on a squirrel, but go ahead. I'll come back to this squirrel.
I wanted to point out a couple things that came out in his video that didn't really come out on our video. And it was, and Travis actually alluded to it. I think he made a comment under his breath about it. He's like, man, this place stinks. There was an aura of stench and squalor. There is. It's a filthy place. And the filthiness of the place, the worst places were not even on the camera. Nice.
Mayor Dan says it's 57 there right now.
Oh, nice. I like 57.
That is nice.
We have 75, but I prefer 57.
Yeah. And I was wearing this. It's starting to get a little warm. It tends to stay colder here inside the log cabin. Mm-hmm. So sometimes I'll be outside in my shorts and shirt and I come inside and I'm like, it's cold in here. So I have to put on my jacket. But we're going to take that off.
But if you'll notice in the last video I saw, there may have been another one since then, but yesterday, where he's taking the antenna down off from the top and he hands it down to Rex. And I'm moving that blue tarp with a pile of stuff, and maybe you wanted to know what that stuff was. It was wet clothes. It was soaking wet clothes balled up under a tarp, and we had to move it over so Rex could get his truck down through there. That's what that was, and those clothes stink. So I just thought, and most of the stench was coming from either animals that had been there or animals that were there. But most of the animals were on the in front of the trailer, out of the view of the camera. We weren't trying to capture all of those things. We were just trying to capture the RV, the stuff around it, and Lloyd's stuff. And just kind of the videoing was really to protect everyone involved, Lynette included. If someone had said something out of range, then it would have been on video.
Oh, Lori Ann, I'm sorry to hear more snow.
Oh, snow. That would be cool.
Well, I'm sure everybody just wants to enjoy spring right now.
But we didn't go into those sheds because none of Lloyd's stuff was in those sheds. So we had no reason to go over there. But those sheds are full of garbage.
Ray says, thank God no smell-a-cam.
Yeah, be lucky you couldn't smell it. And
I was, because I can't smell. I have no sense of smell. And I'm very thankful for that during those type of situations.
We thought it was going to take an hour to get in there and get out. Now, the RV was nowhere near ready to be moved. We had to figure out the slide out.
Hi, Melanie.
The landing gear. We didn't know there was an antenna screwed into the side of the RV. So there were extra things we had to do.
It was a hot day. I remember that.
Yeah, getting the trailer in there was a little bit of a. We
didn't have water with us. I was very dehydrated by the end of the day.
What we thought was going to take an hour took about 4 hours altogether by the time you were actually gone. So it was quite an ordeal. It was half a day, and we weren't planning on it being half a day. But, I mean, it was going to be as long as it took. Lloyd's in a better place. And no, I have not spoken to Lloyd lately, so I don't know how he's doing.
Yeah, you have to shoot him a text.
You have to shoot him a message and see how he's doing. But I think it was a successful rescue, and that's all it was. And there was mention of tenant rights, yes, in Florida. And I don't know the length of time. Megan was saying 3 weeks. It is something like that. And I think it's 21 days, 20 days, 30 days, something like that. You have to be very careful in Florida. If you have a friend or somebody move onto your property and they're getting mail there, that's a big thing too. If you're getting mail there, you're a tenant. We don't have mail delivery in Otter Creek, so that's not the issue there. But if they stay there around 3 weeks, oh my goodness. Becky.
Thank you, Becky Jones.
Thank you so
Stay
much.
strong. Go enjoy an evening out on me. Thank you. That's so sweet.
Thank you, Becky. We
Now you got to
appreciate
take
that.
me out.
Hey, I don't mind taking you out.
Thank you.
How do you want to be taken out?
Really? Oh my goodness.
But everybody pulled together. It really
Burger King. Oh, not the Golden Arches.
Jeremy kind of put everybody together in the working pieces. So we were all, but we already knew Travis. We already knew Deanna. I mean, we already knew what we needed to do. And I reached out to Rex because he had my old truck, so I knew he could move it. So all of that, we already knew what we were doing. Jeremy just kind of orchestrated it. And
really, I thought you got in touch with him, so I guess you'd be the orchestrator.
Well, I did reach out to him and say, "Hey, Lloyd needs some help. Can you help?" But I couldn't convince Lloyd that Jeremy.
It was all a group effort.
Yes, it was a group effort
to help a friend.
Right, that's what it was. I guess where Jeremy helped the most is he allowed Deanna to come help. I mean, because she works for him. So.
Well, she's an independent contractor who makes her own schedule, so.
True. All that's true.
Debunked.
Okay.
I don't even have a shirt, though.
No, we never got a debunked shirt.
And another thing I noticed about Texas, going back there, is that there's a nice blended Mexican cowboy culture. So there's a lot of Mexican restaurants, just a lot of different restaurants. But I will have you know that I tasted the best barbecue that I've ever tasted in my whole entire life.
Barbecues doesn't stand a chance.
That sandwich at Rudy's was amazing. That flavor stayed with me for hours.
We had a brisket sandwich, and I mean, it was like Texas size.
It was juicy and just tender and moist.
Oh, there's Skipper.
That's right. I said it. Moist.
Thanks, Skipper, for the 5. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Skipper.
And thank you for getting the links going out there. We had no idea how to do that or even if we should do that, but we appreciate that.
Thank you.
As you have said, I am a veteran. I served 23 years. I was enlisted. I went in enlisted and up to the rank of E6, and then I went over to warrant officer, and I made it up to warrant officer.
Thank you, Dwayne.
Grade 3, and then I retired
so sweet.
Right before grade 4, and I had a good career.
You know, another thing I saw in Texas while we were driving, I actually saw a dead kangaroo on the side of the road.
Oh, yeah.
For real. And I'm like, was that a kangaroo? Are there kangaroos in Texas?
Can someone let us know? Because I never saw one. Because
that just was like, wow. I mean, maybe it was a wallaby, but it was kind of big and light colored. So I thought it was more like a kangaroo.
And it was roadkill, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah. And we went by, you don't have time to really observe it for too long.
Do they have those in Texas?
Yeah, because he was like looking at me like I was out of my mind.
Was that a kangaroo? And she goes, I thought it was. I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't know they had those here.
That was the weirdest thing I saw in Texas. But yeah, we haven't tried Tennessee barbecue yet, but so far Texas, I'm handing it to you. Mwah.
I told you, Texas can do barbecue. That's their thing.
I even sent a picture of the sandwich to my son, and it was like bitten into it. And he's like, oh, that was so wrong sending that to me. He said, I wanted that sandwich all day. Man. Yeah.
And it was a different kind of restaurant. You go in there and they sell.
Hi, Georgie.
They sell the meat by the pound. So it doesn't matter how big your sandwich. It's sold by the pound. So they weigh the meat, they put it on the bun. So I guess you're not paying for the bun, really.
You know what I liked
You're not
about
paying for a sandwich. You're paying for the weight of the meat.
They let you sample.
They give you some samples.
So you could taste what you wanted. And we tasted the brisket and chicken, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Or pork. I don't know, but it was, both of them were so
were all
delish.
good.
But the brisket was just a hair better, and I love
Mhm.
brisket anyway.
And so chewy. Oh my goodness. I almost want to drive back and get another one.
All right, let's go.
But-
Sorry guys, bye. Gotta go get some barbecue. But oh man.
Yeah.
Delish.
Yeah.
I could stay there and sampled all day.
Now, as summer sets in Texas, you'll see a lot of weekend barbecue bashes where they're judging barbecues, and they have them in lots, kind of like a flea market.
I didn't see any armadillo when we were driving around, but I've seen
Mhm.
enough of those in Florida.
I didn't see any either.
Someone said they're big jackrabbits. Well, that was pretty big. Like it was big,
sizable. That could be.
But wow, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd want to meet up with one of those jackrabbits if they're that big. Like, do they come at you?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Or they
seeing
attack jackrabbits?
I spent a lot of time.
We used to have those in Florida when I was growing up, but the more everybody built, that went away. But they weren't that big.
We used to go to the field quite a bit when I was at Fort Hood, and we went to down near San Antonio. It'd be like a 5-hour convoy to get down there, when it's really just a 2-hour drive.
Georgie wants some barbecue now.
Yeah.
Want me to whip out that picture of that half-eaten brisket sandwich? My son says if you zoom in, you can actually see how moist the meat is.
Oh, yeah.
And
do you have that picture on your phone?
Of course. It's food porn.
Pull it up. Because it's delicious. Oh, my gosh. You can just look at it and your mouth start watering.
Isn't that mean? You're going to try to make everybody want barbecue.
Yeah, I haven't tried Tennessee barbecue yet. I've heard it's sweeter.
I have so many pictures in here.
And I've heard of St. Louis ribs. That ain't far from here. So I'd like to try some ribs too. See if you can get that up there.
I have it zoomed in.
She does have it zoomed in.
So just look at that meat. And it had this smoky flavor that was just so wonderful. And I noticed in that barbecue restaurant, they only had 2 barbecue sauces. One was hot and spicy and one was regular, but very different from the barbecue sauce in Florida. Usually they have 6 different bottles of barbecue sauce with honey this and molasses and super sweet. But that barbecue sauce, they didn't have that arrangement there, but it was way better. Like you didn't even need barbecue sauce on it because you wanted to taste that wonderful smoky. Now I want me one. I need to quit talking about it.
if you have any more interesting pictures in here, but
I got pictures for days, my friend. Don't even try that.
I don't want to get off subject with some of your pictures.
Yeah, he's gonna be over here chasing squirrels. But I did see. I always see a lot of neat things when we're shopping at the commissary.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing I'll say I noticed that I had never seen before was a dill pickle mustard spread made by French's. And I was like, man, I should have bought that because I love dill pickles and I love mustard. Like I like mustard like Jeremy likes ketchup. So
yeah, that's true. She's a mustard freak.
Mustard. I love me some mustard. Just like some sauerkraut.
Yeah.
I could eat that stuff by itself.
I like sauerkraut too.
Delish.
In Korea, they call that a slaw dog.
That's coleslaw, not sauerkraut.
Oh, you're right. Well, I like both though. You're right. That's different things. I mixed them up.
I like to make some brats sitting in the crock pot with some sauerkraut. Oh my goodness. Those are so, so good. We did also go to a German bakery while we were there, but I was a little disappointed compared to the one we had in Florida. They didn't have as much variety because I like some good German baking, like their breads and their cakes. And even the one in Florida made sandwiches, and it was a deli and all that too. So it was way better. But the one we stopped in Texas was also pretty pricey.
They have one here outside of town, I think on the other side of the lake, over toward toward Winchester, but
Yeah, it's supposed to be like some European, the
Win-
Swiss Pantry, I think
I
it's
forget,
called.
it's a little town, Windermere or something like that.
We still have yet to stop in there.
Yeah, that's supposed to be really good.
So, yeah, I love trying different foods, Thai food.
Yeah.
It's sometimes hard to find somebody that is adventurous to try those type of foods. So I used to have a good friend in Ocala, Lisa, who me and her would always go try some Jamaican food, some Indian food, Thai food. So she was my food friend. we went but I don't know that you're that adventurous.
Well, I've tried a lot
You
of
do
that stuff.
some
already.
of it, but
I've tried a lot of it already. Like Philippine food, I've tried it. It's okay. There's certain things that I like and certain things. So I already know kind of what I like about it. Korean food, there's not much. I mean, there's one or two things I like. But kimchi's not one of them.
I've never tried kimchi, to be honest.
I don't like it, but some people love it.
And I know I enjoy a good Irish pub stopping in there, and
what are those?
They have some delicious food.
What are those things called you can get in the store? Sometimes they have a lady that actually serves a whole section of it. What's it called? It's like Japanese little I forget what they're called, but I don't like them either. But they're very popular. Everybody likes them. The commissary has a whole section.
You're talking about sushi?
Sushi. Yeah.
Okay.
Sushi.
I love sushi too.
A lot of people
I don't
do.
like the sashimi, which is
I don't care for it though.
The raw fish just by itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, in Ocala we used to go to Grace's all the time and get some good sushi. But yeah. Now is everybody hungry? So we've had a whole big long talk about all kinds of food. Hope you enjoyed it.
So the trip was good.
I'm hungry.
The trip was good. We didn't have any problems with the RV or the Jeep. We did have one or two things. We installed the tire pressure monitoring system and it worked flawlessly. I like it.
I would love to take George to enjoy some delicious food.
On the driver's side door under the under panel, it has it's a two-door system. You pull the buckle and one side opens, and then the other side you have to reach in and pull a cable. Well, that cable has a top and bottom pin, and it pulls the two pins in so that door can open. Well, the attachments for those, the screws fell out. Like 3 of them fell out on this one. There's 4, and 2 of them fell out on the other one. So it was loose. So those doors tried to swing open, but they kind of got hung on themselves like that. So I had to fix that, but that was real easy. I just put some larger self-tappers in there and secured it up and done.
You know what we didn't try, though, in Texas? That's going to be on the return trip, a big fat steak. And I know a viewer had commented about a 72-ounce challenge that they have somewhere. And I was like, I don't know that I could
be going.
I don't know if I could do it, but I'm stupid enough to try. And I probably would walk out of there with the meat sweats. And
meat sweats.
Meat sweats are real, man.
Yeah.
I've had them before. So, but I would be dumb enough to try that because that sounds really delish.
Yep.
So, yep, Texas, definitely have to go back there. Really enjoyed our time there. And I look forward to going to Ohio, which will be soon. I know I had a follow-up doctor's appointment this week on Tuesday.
Oh, thank you, Erica. Appreciate that.
How about cheese fondue? Big hug from Switzerland. Yes.
I bet
fondue is good.
That sounds good.
There was a fondue restaurant in Jacksonville, the Melting Pot. And I went there one time with a friend of mine, and it was so good. A little pricey, but really good. I mean, I think they should charge a little less since you got to cook your own food. But hey, you know,
I've been through the Switzerland airport. I think it was I think it was in Geneva. It was just a layover.
I've never been there, but I would love to go.
So I've been through there. I remember they had white chocolate bars at the airport, and they were really expensive. And this was like 20 years ago, probably 30 years ago.
Well, they're probably more now.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
So what was I saying now? For that squirrel caught me.
Squirrel.
Darned it.
Squirrel.
So yeah, our next trip to Ohio, that's where I was going. I went to my follow-up appointment this Tuesday, and things are moving in the right direction.
Yep.
I still have pain.
But
There's
it's
still
less.
open wound and it's taking a bit of time to heal, but the doctor says that's normal. And I go back in another 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, no matter what they say, I'm hitting the road.
Yep. So we'll be here for about 2 weeks.
Yep. So we're doing a bunch of projects. I got a list of things.
Yeah, we're trying to hurry up and get them done.
That I have to get done because I want all these things to be done before we leave. So we're keeping pretty busy while we're here.
We do have a couple more Texas videos to throw out, but don't think we went back to Texas, or no, they're in Texas.
Yeah. Don't get confused. I know sometimes people will comment or message me, I thought you were here. I thought you would here. And as the videos are filmed, they're never released the same day, or
right.
Sometimes they're the day after, but not always. So you never know when they're going to be released. I always tell people, we just like to keep you confused.
Sometimes we do 2 or 3 filmings in the same day.
Yeah.
Like we did the drive-through zoo, the safari, and the caverns the same day. They're right next to each other.
But I haven't put out the caverns video yet.
Right. So
I think I have 3 or 4 Texas videos still to put out.
Yeah.
So like, I know the day we are at the Alamo, and because I think too, because of the medicines they have me on, like all these different medicines out and it's hotter, I just felt very dehydrated and we're running all over the place. So when we got back here, I was like, I can't believe we did so much in such a short time. No wonder I'm so exhausted. So like I look back at the Alamo video and I'm like, I was so exhausted and I'm like, gosh, you just look like you needed a nap or something. But some of the days you're just running and the heat. But I think the medicine too had a big part of it because I was so thirsty. And it's good to be home now. My moisturizer is working again.
It was so dry.
It was so dry in Texas. My skin was so
People
ashy.
had said she looks like someone said that they look like you had aged 10 years.
Oh, yeah. A bunch of people were telling me that.
The dry air and just.
And I think too, I wasn't drinking enough water. Mm-hmm. It was just a huge mixture of stuff. And you never realize how much that has to do with how you look, especially drinking the water, dehydration.
The humidity, they were under a serious fire ban burn down there.
It was very breezy.
It was like 6% humidity.
People were saying that is not normally
it's
how
not
it
normal.
is.
That's not normal.
I guess I didn't get the real Texas feel. So, definitely got to go back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was so exhausted. We were running around so much. But yeah, so don't get confused or just be confused and happy. Either way, it's not real time. So don't think we're back there yet.
And so it's really a comfortable 2-day trip. It took about 6 to 8 hours each day.
Oh, dry hair. I didn't think about that. I was just saying to Brett earlier, my hair feels very damaged.
And we did a stopover. Little Rock, Arkansas is about halfway. And that was a good stop for us because there's a little Air Force base with a campground there. So it was perfect.
Yeah, his shirt is funny, but so true.
What's that?
True. Your shirt, Georgie says your shirt is funny.
Can you see it?
I am currently unsupervised. I know it freaks me out too, but the possibilities are endless.
That's right.
And so true. Like
that's my debunk.
It ain't easy, my friends. It ain't easy.
So there was no meeting in Otter Creek this week, and
I know. Now
I find that odd.
What I'm confused about is, was it canceled? Is it being rescheduled? Because usually when it would just be postponed if something happened, but it's flat out canceled. And was there a meeting Monday or Tuesday this week? I didn't see one.
I didn't see it.
I really don't know. But that's very odd. And then the elections are next Tuesday on April Fool's Day.
I don't think it's a good idea to cancel a
Please
meeting.
Don't vote for any fools just because it's April Fool's Day.
I don't think it was wise not to have a meeting and cancel it right before the elections. I mean, I hope they're doing more to try to get reelected. But I can't say. I don't know. Maybe there's a plan. I hope there's a plan.
I continue. Well, God has a plan, so don't you worry.
True.
But I continue again to pray on that situation, and hopefully the election turns out well and the town, I can't even speak right, will continue to head in the right direction. And I know it's a long haul and there's a lot of work to be done there, but I keep praying that good things will come for that town. When I first moved there, I thought, oh, it's going to be so cool to live in this little town and everybody knows everybody and it's just going to be so nice.
Boy, like, were we wrong
leave
on
it
that.
To Beaver or something. And, you know, so wrong. Wrong. I've lived in huge places that were way better.
We got debunked.
But, you know.
That's what I told Tim Hodge, too. He's one of the board members. We were delivering mail packages on Sunday, and I delivered to his house a couple times. And one time we got into a little conversation, and I say, I know you're one of the county board reps. He goes, yep, that's
Northern
right.
Ireland.
And I said, you like it here? He goes, oh, yeah, I love it. Best place to live in the world. I was like, well, I've lived in a lot of places being in the service, and this doesn't even rank in the top 10 of the places that I've been to live.
I would imagine the following day they should post the unofficial results of the election, because it usually does take a couple of days, or it could take up to a couple of days. It shouldn't, because there's very few votes to count, but they got to make sure if there was any mail-in ballots, and if there was anything that they were challenging and things like that. But usually the unofficial results will be released either that night or the following day. I would assume the following day. And those are usually what the results are going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And they used to post them in the window or on the board.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they'll do it this year. I would imagine it's just they post it on the door before too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they did.
It'll probably just get posted on the door. And it should be the following day.
And what happens with the ethics?
There's a hearing April 25th about the ethics.
Yep. So the election goes on. He's still able to run. Let's say he gets a seat. He'll get seated and sworn in. And then whenever the ethics commission board meets and decides on any appropriate repercussions, no matter what it is, if it's fines or whatever, I would hope that they wouldn't allow him or ban him from being on the board for at least 5 years or something, 10 years. But I don't know what
I can't even imagine why anybody would vote for him.
I don't get it either.
Or some of the other people, because they're not going to add any value to the town.
Nope.
The past record just shows the damage.
I mean, you awarded him the 1-year term, or he'd be in there now.
And people who don't attend meetings when they're not on the board,
mm-hmm.
that speaks pretty loudly to me.
And don't come to the meetings when they're not on the board?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I reworded it. Well, he just started coming back, but it's just because there's an election. That's the only reason.
Yeah, you noticed. If you're paying attention and you've got some brains, you'll quickly notice that they only come to the meetings right before elections,
mm-hmm.
or if they want to stir up some crap. Those are the only times, if they're not on the board, that they want to show up in the crowd. But to me, that speaks a whole lot of volume. And I hope the people in the town who really care about that town and want good for themselves and the people around them take note of the differences of what it's like to have a good board versus the boards they've had in the past. Because I've heard plenty from the people that live there about what they've dealt with from some of the individuals
mm-hmm.
on that board. And it's
atrocious.
Drives me insane to understand why then anybody would continue to vote for him. So there must be something more to that as why that would be, but it makes absolutely no sense. So I hope, again, that everybody in that town gets out there and votes for the good people. And if they plan on voting for bad people,
well, you know what you're going to get.
Home.
Yeah, if you vote for bad people, you continue to vote for bad people expecting a different result, what is that called? You're an idiot. You're an idiot. If you keep doing the same thing, thinking a different result is going to come.
I think that's the definition of insanity.
Insanity, or idiocracy, whichever way you want to. It's stupid.
But yeah, we should all know the results of that. And again, as I've said in the past, we'll be talking about the results of that. And May's meeting is when they would seat the new mayor.
Yep.
So I don't know why they don't do it in the April meeting, but
all the other towns do. But you got to be odd, or you're not Otter Creek.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, so we'll be talking about that next week. And pray for a good turnout, for good votes, and a good board for Otter Creek so they can get on to having a good town and being nice and boring again in a good way. So what else you got?
Got all my notes. They're done.
Bam. He's checking them off.
I'm kind of reading through the chat to see if there's anything else.
So we're going to be heading to Ohio in another couple of weeks. I don't know if we're going to stop anywhere along the way. We've been batting that around. Maybe.
Is Karen in the chat? Karen's books.
Yeah.
I heard that she won a membership on one of the other channels, and I was like, "Oh, Karen!" Yeah. I was just listening. I wasn't really talking in there, but I heard it, and I just wanted to say something. Congratulations,
Pagoda, Jason.
That's a North Pole.
You're killing me over here.
We need a pagoda in Tullahoma.
Oh my goodness!
It even matches.
I would love a pagoda.
Tullahoma.
Feel free to send me pictures of your lunch, Jason.
Lunch born.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, we've been throwing around maybe stopping at the Ark, possibly. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I guess it really depends.
It's out of the way, but not
when
much,
we leave.
But not much out of the way.
So we're batting that one around. And then where are we going after Ohio? I've been trying to get him to form a plan. And I've told you before how he does not like to plan. It could be the night before, and he'll be like, too soon. I can't tell you.
I will formulate our post-Ohio trip while we're in Ohio. We have a little while in Ohio.
I like to have some kind of flexible idea of what's going on. It doesn't have to be set in stone. It can still be flex, but no, this man does not budge on the planning.
Well, there's some areas that I would like to see. I just don't know if we're going to see them this time or next time, being next season or this season. Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
Thank you, Dwayne. Gifted 10 memberships. That is awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Dwayne. Appreciate all the love from you guys out there. We really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And we will be completely transparent with.
Look, Marianne was gifted. Ray Perry, Karen's books.
There you go, Karen. Get them books.
Beckstar, Margaret Tier. It's going so fast. Becky L.
Wow.
Lindy.
Look at all the love.
Haven.
Look at all the love.
I love me some love.
I love how they love each other too. Not, just
I mean,
it's the love out there in the
that's
chat.
What's so awesome. I used to always say, pay it forward, make good stuff happen like dominoes, like a wildfire spreading. Just go out there and love on each other. Not in a weird way, but in a good way.
Stay weird.
And yeah, I used to actually say that to people. Stay weird, my friend. But people got like the wrong kind of weird.
It's almost like a Dos Equis commercial.
So you got to be pretty careful with that.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
I don't know what I got in my hair, but it's like
sticky.
It almost like I got some of that stain paint. Like I dumped it on my shoe and now my shoelaces are stiff. Maybe I got some in my hair too. So the Ark was awesome, Jason says.
Oh.
I know. I want to go there. Hey, Deborah from Otter Creek. We miss you. I hope you're doing good and taking care of yourself and loving that cute little doggy of yours.
Yep. Take care of yourself there, Deborah.
Yep. I know it's getting hot down there. Getting hot.
Hey, Deborah, you starting that motorhome up once in a while, making sure everything's working good and it, lubricating everything. I know those motorhomes, if they sit for a long time and you don't start them, you start having problems with them. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Give it a start. Let it run 15, 20 minutes. Let it get warm.
I just read, I missed who said it, but they said an RV is the best investment you can make in real estate. Wheel. W-H-E-E-L.
Real estate, yes.
That's cute.
Yep.
Yep. So, and what are we going to do in Ohio? I know I get to spend some time with my nieces and nephews, get to go to, I can't remember now if my niece is playing softball or football because she's always in some sports. And I know it might be baseball because she's got, I think, maybe a doubleheader.
Now, I used to umpire softball.
So we get to go to see her play her game.
I used to umpire men's softball.
And I know we're going to be doing some stuff with the Girl Scout troop and planting some trees. So I'm excited about that.
Oh, yeah. They're going down to Savannah, aren't they?
That is in July.
Right. But
which I've been invited to go to that too.
We could end up in Savannah in July.
Because I am an adult Girl Scout. So
I'm not.
Well, that's good because you're not a girl.
That's right.
So you don't even get any cookies, my friend. No cookies for you.
There's a joke there, but I'm going to...
Like the soup Nazi.
I'm going to keep it clean.
No cookies for you. Oh, good. I'll have to check that out. Thank you, Georgie. Barbecue. I love barbecue.
What'd Georgie say?
She sent a link for the barbecue joint in Tullahoma that we love.
Okay.
That they love. And maybe we'll love.
Because we haven't gotten to explore the town too much.
I know. We're so all over the place.
I mean, we really like it out here away from everything. So when we go into town, we had to go there yesterday, didn't we? Or day before?
I don't know. It's all a blur.
And we'll stack 4 or 5 things that we have to get while we're there.
It's all... No, yesterday we were because we actually went to the gym. Woo!
Oh, yeah.
It felt good, actually, to be able to go work out. I've been on such restrictions that when we were in town and we tried to go to the gym a couple of times, I really couldn't do anything. So that kind of stunk. But yesterday I was able to almost do all the stuff I used to do before. There's only a couple of things I had to leave out, and it felt good. That's
a nice gym. It's over on Arnold Air Force Base. They have a fitness center there. I would like to film some of that, but they don't let you.
Wright-Patterson Air Force Base has a big museum, Nancy said. I've heard a couple of people have talked about that. They got
signs on every building that says no photos, no live streaming, no video recording. So it's like, can't do nothing.
There's a great ice cream shop in Cowan, too. We'll send that name to him, too, because, you know, I love me some ice cream.
Oh, yeah. There's supposed to be a railroad museum over there, and I did look into that, but I don't think it's open yet.
Becky Jones, member for 10 months, said, have great travels.
Becky.
I love traveling so much. I just get excited even talking about it.
Becky, where are you from, by the way? Let us know where you're from. I'm just curious.
I know it's weird how they throw out the gifted memberships. I used to always say, I never get one of those.
I never have.
I haven't either. But
maybe we don't chat enough. Maybe you have to chat more.
I don't know. Well, I'm never in any of the streams. It's always Brett in the streams.
Yeah. So if you see Madame Mayor's Adventures, she's usually within earshot, but I'm the one chit-chatting.
He's more of the chatty Kathy in this relationship, and I'm just busy doing a bunch of stuff. I'm like the worker bee, and I'm just used to just constantly doing stuff until I drop at the end of the day.
Well, like if I'm not real busy, then I'll check to see if one of the chats is online. So I'm not joining them when they open up. I'll probably join them already in progress, but I still can go and support them. I'll log on and I'll give the thumbs up.
I didn't say there was anything wrong with it. I just, when I like to listen to my tunes, I'm big on my tunes, and I'll get into my music and my jams, and I'm doing my work, and I'd rather listen to my jams than a podcast or a talk show or anything like that. No offense to anybody, but I like my jams.
She'd rather listen to music. She likes less dialogue.
Yeah, I like to get caught up in my tune, just singing, dancing, and doing what I need to do and being in my zone with my thoughts, and that's it.
Sometimes I like good substantive discussions. Like when Megan and Tug get together, I know I've said this before, they try to mix funny with the substance. I like to listen to the substance.
That sounds good.
But when Megan's by herself or when Tug's by himself, there's more substantive discussions, and I like those discussions typically.
I don't want to have to go back and look for that again.
What's that? Oh, she's doing a screenshot of the of the chat.
Well, our trail mix of life says marinate your chicken in dill pickle juice and then bread it and fry it, or shake and bake, and it will taste like Chick-fil-A. And I love dill pickle, as I said before, so that sounded wonderful. And I don't want to have to try to look that up later because I'll be too busy doing something. So I had to take a picture.
I got a coupon for a free Chick-fil-A sandwich we have to cash in.
You know what I noticed too about Chick-fil-A with when they give you a coupon for a free sandwich or whatever? Number one, you don't have to buy anything else to redeem your free sandwich. Number two, they give you longer than 2 weeks, because a lot of the other places, when you do their little survey,
they rush.
You get 2 weeks, and you better buy another meal to get your free stuff. Chick-fil-A, you get, I think it was a couple of months, and you don't have to buy anything because they just know that you're going to, and they don't put any restrictions on you. And I'm like, you know what? That's smart right there.
Their stuff is so good, they don't have to advertise it. So, like they're closed on Sunday. All those people on Sunday will just come on Monday. They know that.
I was just reading a funny joke, but I'm not going to repeat it. If you're in the chat, you'll see it. Oh, my goodness. So what else you got over there?
That's all my notes.
Game mail.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. We do have mail.
Brett's asleep
over
at the
here,
wheel.
Asleep at the wheel. We've got mail.
Bye, Babs. You have a great day, too. Thank you for joining us.
So we have mail from Paul Wortham, and we got a lot of stuff. I
was excited to see this. Yes, I'm still freezing 24/7, and it's like it's like a soft
fleece.
It feels like a nice bathrobe, and it's got 2 pockets. So I love this. So I'm like, yes, because I am always freezing.
I think it's like a fleece, but I don't think it's fleece. I don't know what it is.
Really. It's soft. So I love it.
It's got a bunch of stuff. So I'm just going to run through it. This is a little flag that goes on like your campsite.
Only Jesus can make America great again. Amen to that.
Both sides.
Amen to that, baby.
Ooh, got a big one here.
Oh, upside down, and we can only read part of that.
Upside down, you're turning me.
It's a big old truck. Without truck driver, you wouldn't have anything to wipe your bum with. That is so true. Look at that pretty picture of the truck.
Yep, both sides.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
It's a nice shirt. And here's another one.
I love, love, love this one. Look at all this detail. One nation under God. And it's double-sided. It's just beautiful. Isn't that beautiful?
Yep.
That's my favorite. I don't know. There's so many cool things in here. It's hard to pick a favorite. I love this one too. I died laughing because this is so true. I break for yard sales, thrift stores, and weird stuff left on the curb. Woo! Because you know what's going to happen after this live is over? Oh. I'm going to go to some kind of...
Oh, yeah. We're going to an estate sale.
I love me some estate sale.
So as soon as we get off here, we'll be getting ready to go to an estate sale in Tullahoma.
This sticker, appropriate, 100% appropriate, because I just love all of that.
Yep.
And this is a nice one for the veterans. You're getting a lot of glare there.
I know. I'm trying to get it where there's no glare. How's that?
That's better.
Can you read it?
I have done things that haunt me at night so you can sleep in peace. I have been away from my family a long time so that yours can be safe. I have sacrificed a lot in my life so that you may live free. I have done these things because I have sworn an oath to my country, and I will live by this oath until the day that I die, because I am and always will be a U.S. veteran.
And veterans serve for themselves, their friends, their family, their country, even people we don't like. So even some of these other hate channels, we serve for them as well. You're welcome on behalf of all veterans.
That was going to get a sign in the head there. Woo! Getting a little close, buddy.
Be glad that you have the freedom to say things you shouldn't be saying. And then we got a couple of cards. This one comes from overseas. This one comes from
New Zealand.
New Zealand. And what they've done.
I thought this was so cute because that's so thoughtful and it took a lot of time.
They handmade all the lettering. See it?
Hope you are feeling better soon. Therese and Brett from Wendy. Thank you so much. That is so cute and thoughtful.
Thank you, Wendy. We like that card. It was really cute.
Yeah, that's special.
That comes from New Zealand.
That is love.
See, they got the Par Avion Post sticker on there. Very nice.
No, we will not be doing the Sunday live shows anymore. Our lives now are just going to be spontaneous because we have too much going on to nail down a scheduled live. So if we do one on Sunday, it'll just be a spontaneous. But basically, we'll do our lives. We'll probably be either a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, or Sunday, just on a whim, spontaneous like today.
About a week and a half, 2 weeks apart is better for us because we're able to get more stuff into the videos that we've done. We don't want to get on here and say, well, we've been vacationing and we've been here and there, but we haven't, we don't have enough material. We want to make sure we got some good substantive materials for the lives. So we're just going to wait until we have that, and then we'll post it. We'll give at least 5-6 hours notice. The reason I don't want it
scheduled is because I don't want it cutting into like I have to be here to do stuff because sometimes
that happens a lot.
There's so many things I want to go do that fall on that time frame and I can't go do them. So it was a little too limiting for me. So spontaneous it is.
And Georgie sent me a link to the Piggy's Place barbecue. Appreciate that. We will definitely check that out. And
thank you, Doctor Who fan, sending support from Illinois. That's awesome. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
We appreciate all your support and love.
This is from Ms. Rebecca in Brush Valley, Pennsylvania. And she sends a cheery hello.
That's so cute.
And it says, Dear the Grangers, hope every little bit of this brings and adds sunshine to your days and brightens your every hour in very nicest ways. I hope my suggestion helps. I had to read that.
Thank you so much. And she sent $1. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Every little bit helps. We appreciate
everybody's love and support. I appreciate our awesome moderators. I've seen a couple on here, Melanie and Kathy. And did I miss anybody? Jessica was on here earlier. Just appreciate all you guys for all you do and keeping this chat nice and positive,
friendly,
and throwing up links for us. We do appreciate all that you do for us.
And we appreciate all those memberships because that helps build community. And we love that.
Yep. And the memberships also help to support the channel. So we really do appreciate that. I try to keep the fees for that low. And I understand some people can't join, and that's fine. Just subscribe. Subscribing is free. And if you can join and you are a member, we do usually do either a live or a video once a week with our members.
I still owe them one this week.
Yep, we still haven't done this week's yet, so I'm not really sure what it'll be. That's usually another spontaneous thing, but it's always fun to be able to hang with everybody. We appreciate all our members, no matter what level you're on. And again, just appreciate everybody's love and support.
And I guess we appreciate all your prayers on Therese's health being finished.
Definitely, because prayer works.
It does.
100%. I know I've been praying for quite a few people that I know lately, been going through some hard times. There's a young lady that is going through some cancer issues, and I won't get into details about that person, but if you could just keep in your prayers that all the cancer is out of her body, and pray for her family and loved ones. There's a lot of stuff going on for a lot of people. So please be a prayer warrior for the people around you. And it doesn't cost anything to say any prayers, and it does do a lot of good for all the people involved in the different situations.
And there's more power in prayer when you combine people. If you have several people praying on the same thing, then it speaks louder, gets more attention.
But I guess we better get wrapping this up because I got to get to my estate sale.
That's right. You got to get ready to go. But yep.
But yeah, we appreciate everybody. Lots of love to everybody. And we'll see you guys whenever we decide to just bam and go live and tell you whatever's going on. You can always reach me at madammayersadventures@gmail.com. Thank you, Dwayne. Gifted another 10 memberships. Thank you for the love and support. Oh, it helps our channel so much, and we appreciate it. Look, Deborah Thomas, she was gifted one.
Oh, good.
Carol and Suzanne, Frankie, Happy Witch. Oh, awesome. The Wilborns was gifted one.
Ah, you're welcome.
There's a whole bunch. What are you saying you're welcome for?
That's her thank you.
Oh, what's this one? Lindy. That's a strong statement for the haters. Be grateful for the freedom to say things you shouldn't be saying.
Yeah. Thanks for that. We appreciate that.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lindy.
And we also ask for prayers, and we also pray that the lawsuit goes in the right direction. That a fair assessment of what has happened to us comes forward, whatever that fair amount should be. It doesn't, of course, everybody wants to get the full amount, but whatever is fair is fine with us.
And continue to pray for Jeremy and George in this trying time. And I pray for all my friends in Otter Creek. You guys are in my prayers every night. I love you all. I love all my peeps across this wonderful planet. Spread the love, be positive, be joyous, and peace out. I love you all so much.
Oh, yeah. The Vols are in the Sweet 16, baby. They play tomorrow night, Kentucky. So go Vols.
Lord.
That's my 5 seconds.
So stay happy, stay positive, and keep doing good. And always do the right thing.
Bye, guys. Love you guys. Thank you for